Shrimati Ramanujaya Namaha. Sri Sailesha Dayabatram Dibhaktadi Gunarnavam Yatintra Pravanam Bande Ramyaja Matharam Munim Lakshminada Samarambham Nathayamana Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandham Vande Guru Parambaram Yonityam Achyutabadam Bhujayukma Rukma Vyamohadastathitarani Trinayamene Asmad Gurur Bhagavatosya Dhayeka Santoho Ramanujasya Charanau Sharanam Prabhate. Namaskaram to all. Continuing the journey of 108 Divyadesams. Today we will see a very unique historical temple in the erstwhile kingdom of Pandyas. We saw Tirumaliram Cholai, one of the Divyasthalam near Madurai, and we are going to see in this particular part another temple in the Pandya kingdom. At that time it is called as Tihirupullani. Tihirupullani is a historical place. We will know when we see the history of this particular temple. The Thayar here is called as Sri Kalyanavalli Thayar, and a Brahman is Sri Kalyana Jagannatha Perumal. And this is very much connected. This particular temple is very much connected to Ramayanam, and also the Ramayana, and also Ramar. As in Tirumaliram Cholai, we enjoyed the beauty of Emperuman, which is the very uniqueness, and it was referred by Alvars to comparing it with Kannan's beauty. So this particular temple is talking more about the character of Rama and a historical thing that happened into this particular location in Ramayanam, and that is where this particular temple is having a very, very high importance for us. So this is part of the erstwhile Pandya kingdom, and even actually this has been referred even in Puranas or even before the first Treta Yuga. This seems to be referred. The reason being that during the Ramayana days, even Dasharatha, father of Rama, has prayed this god, Lord Jagannatha, at that time to have children for him, because he had no children. And then he was doing all the prayers. Later he did the Ashwamedha Yaga and got these 4 sons. But it is also being said into the history that Dasharatha had prayed to this particular Jagannatha Peruman at that time, before Rama was born. So such is historical importance of Tihirupullani. The Sthala Puranam here, this particular, the story of this particular temple, this temple is called as a Pullaranya Kshetram. Pull means it's a grass, and we call it out as this, the pure grass, which is we call it as the Darbai. Aranyam is forest. Pullaranyam is that one of the name, this why it is called as a Pullaranya Kshetram could be one reason is that there were a lot of that grass which is grown into this place, which is a purest form of the grass, which is used in the rituals and so on. So that is one of the reason for the name of this Kshetram. But there is also another story that what Rama did here, and he is in this particular temple, Rama is in the lying position, which you will see the unique. He is a Sayana Peruman, which is in the lying posture on the grass of Darbai, and that is why it is also called as a Pullaranya Kshetram. There is also another reason. There were 3 rishis, Pullavar, Ganvar, Kalavar. There were 3 rishis who has done tapas into this particular location, and they prayed with Emperuman. And based on those tapas, initially Emperuman, he was posturing as a banyan tree in the temple. Later, he gave the posture as Sri Jagannatha Peruman, and after that, when Ramayanam happens, Rama's presence is here. This particular banyan tree is even today being said that when people go there, and you can see that in the Tihirupullani temple. And they pray Emperuman for many reasons to all the things to happen. And so this banyan tree is one of the place everybody goes and stays. But this is one, this particular kshetram has got a history. Again, has been telling that it has got a connection to Ramayana, because one of the reason in the grave, our acharyas used to say Rama came to this earth. Many of these, the Ramayana might look as a story that he killed Ravana, and for those killing those Adharma, and also to kill Ravana, he took this avatar. But this is only an outline story. If Embrahman has to do that one, he can do that with his Sankalpa power from Sri Vaikuntham itself. But he did that one. He wants to show to this world that how a human being should be living, following the dharmas and shastras. First of all, Embrahman himself showed us the way, because otherwise in the later part he came as a Krishna, and then he gave a Bhagavad Gita to us, preaching us that how we should be. But then he knows that one, these people will ask how he could preach, but he showed how he was himself showing that as a humankind in Rama Avatara. That was one of the reasons. But the other important one, why Ramayana has got that one, this is the place where the Ravana's brother Vibhishanan came here, and he did the Sharanagati to Lord Rama. Tihirupullani is on the banks of that near Rameshwaram, and after that you have the ocean, and then from there you can go to Lanka, Sri Lanka, and this is the last place where it is today called as the Setu, and this place is where Vibhishana came here and he did the Sharanagati. This is most important and most sacred ones in Ramayana, because this Sharanagati, how Vibhishana did, was a perfect Sharanagati. Even today, shown as an examples by Acharyas. Rama gave the Sharanagati after a lot of discussions when Sugriva did not believe Vibhishana, and Hanuman said that he should be given this Sharanagati. Rama took all the arguments and he took a decision to give Sharanagati to Vibhishana at this place. And this is a very historic place, because Tihirupullani is the place where Rama gave a Sharanagati to Vibhishana. And that's the first historical importance of that. Later, when after Vibhishana took a Sharanagati, then they were discussing about how to go to Sri Lanka. There is a big ocean, so how we have to build a path from this Setu to Lanka, because all the monkeys were there, and they are ready to build whatever it is, and then waiting for Rama to tell. At that time, Rama, he made a Sharanagati to the king of ocean, Samudrarajan, we tell, because he is a humankind, so he follows that Shastras. So he requested Samudrarajan to give way so that we could build a bridge of stones, and then we could reach Lanka. So he did this one sitting on a grass of Darbai. And then he did this Sharanagati for 3 days, but the Samudraraja, the king of ocean, did not hear, and he did not come for this request. So then now Rama thought he cannot wait, and then so he asked Lakshmana, can you give that bow and arrow? At that time, Samudrarajan got feared, and then he came and surrendered on the lotus feet of Rama. As he was sitting onto that particular Darbai grass for those 3 days and doing this Sharanagati, this particular place is called as the Darbashayana Peruman. So the Ramar is called as the Darbashayana Peruman. He is in the lying posture, and that is the history where 2 Sharanagatis have been attempted there. And one of the Sharanagati of Vibhishanan, it was perfectly done, and Rama gave the Sharanagati. The second one, when Rama did the Sharanagati to the king of ocean, this did not take place because it is not a proper one, because Rama is an Emperor. Samudrarajan is not the one who can give a Sharanagati, but even then Rama followed the Shastras to do that. But this is an example of our Acharyas shows what type of a Sharanagati that one should do, and what Vibhishana Sharanagati is a great example for that. That is why this particular place has got most historic importance in the Pandya region of. There are several temples. Each temple has got the uniqueness, but Tihirupullani has got that particular importance. The second one is that we all know in this today's world, there is the bath, taking bath in this particular banks of Tirupullani, Setu Snanam, we tell, and also doing the Amavasya, Tarpanams and things to our ancestors is a very auspicious one here into this Setu Samuttiraman. Taking bath here is such a holy one, because normally the Shastras tell that only on the days of Amavasya and the Paurnami, somebody has to go and touch even the ocean. Only these 14 days in a year you can go and have any bath in the ocean. In other days, we should not go to the ocean, is what the Shastras tell. But there is an exception to this particular Setu. You can go any day and then take bath into this, because that's the importance when Rama had been there, and that's why Setu Snanam is such an important one. And this temple has also the importance of Sharanagati, and the bridge of the Setu bridge, what has been built, is from this tip of Tirupullani. They built it to Lanka, to reach to Lanka, and that is where the last tip of maybe the erstwhile Bharatam, what Rama had made his holy feet in that place, and also the Sharanagati of Vibhishana, and that's why this particular temple is important. And also this story of it is connected to Ramayana is still being told. Tirupullani is a great example for us. The other features of this particular temple, there are 10 ponds into this one. We have Chakara Tirtham, Hamsa Tirtham, Varuna Tirtham is all something importance being told. So taking bath into all to these holy ponds is very, very getting the blessings of Rama. Vimanam is called as a Kalyana Vimanam, and the Alvar who has done the Mangalasasanam here is Thirumangai Alvar. He has sung around 20 Pashurams, onto this particular Tirupullani Kshetram. And he talks about Ramayana story in every one of those, because it is about Rama, and he has sung many of those things praising Rama, and also about this particular location. Villal Ilangai Malanga Charaduranda Vallalan Pinbona Nenjam Varumalabum Yellarum Yentanai Yeshilum Peshidilum Pullani Emberuman Poihet Irundene. So he is talking about the Tirupullani Emberuman and the Darbashayana Peruman. The Rama himself in a Shaina Kolam is a great scene that one can enjoy into this particular temple. And if we go there, we get the blessings. Also the Sharanagati place where Vibhishana has got the Sharanagati, and the whole blessings of Rama, Emperuman and Thayar. We could get it out. And this is about this particular temple, Tirupullani. It can be reached, it is near Rameshwaram, and it's reachable, and we can go and get the blessings of Emperuman and Thayar. We will see further temples in our next part. Srimati Ramanujaya Namaha. Alvargal Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Brahmanar Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Jiyar Tiruvadigalai Sharanam, Acharya Swami Tiruvadigalai Sharanam.